Okay, so we're here and we are live with another episode of our Books for Ukraine. This one is How Full is Your Bucket? Reading it in English. We will offer translations as able, but first it comes in English because I speak English first. But here we go. Let's see. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. I want to build with you, she said. Felix scowled. Go away, you're too little. I'm big, she says. Stay back, you'll knock it over, he says. I can be very careful, she says. He says, go play with your baby toys, Anna. And they fight. Grandpa, calls Felix. Grandpa shook his head. Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still. Felix slipped and cocoa weeds scattered across the floor. Felix, yelled his mom, you should have used the stool to reach that. Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips slip out. Drip, drip. Ha ha, Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with his shoe or her shoe. Drip. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus, scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa weeds and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster the dog jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip, drip, drip. Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it, said someone at school to Felix. Drip, drip, drip. Then Felix saw people talking about him at school. Drip, drip, drip. Someone called him a name. Watch out, shrimp. Drip, drip, drip. It was still morning and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall, which is really not a good thing, by the way. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel slowly walked up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class? Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop. Drop, plop, plink, drop, plink. As he read his paper, the class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Maybe. Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Another drop in his bucket. Nice drawing, Felix. It looks wonderful. Well, nice colors there that you use, Felix. drop. Cool laser. Ant backpack, Felix. Drop. Another drop in the bucket. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too, not just Felix. Every single person in his school had a bucket. Like every single person on the globe has a bucket. So Felix went home and changed the way he chose to be with other people. Let me help you out, he said to his father. Drop, drop went into his father's bucket. Here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude, as he played with the neighbor. Drop, drop in both buckets. Hi, I'm Felix. Is this your first day? Yes, I'm Amir. Drop, drop in both buckets. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket and I understand how it works." When he saw Anna's torn doll, he said, "Bad dog," because the dog had attacked Anna's doll. But then he thought dogs might have an invisible bucket too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her," as Anna cried. "Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" And so they did. The end.